Hello, my name is Alison Nicholl and I'm the manager of Innovator, BRE's innovation network. We're carrying out a series of 6 interviews with innovators within the built environment. Today we're meeting Marco Poletto from ecoLogicStudio, who are developing a biodigital algae-based facade system for buildings.
This technology is about the integration of a microorganism, like algal microorganisms, within a custom-designed ETFE cladding system. The opportunity here is to augment the performances of the microorganisms as well as the one of the cladding system itself. So the combination of biology and an artificial technology actually is more than the sum of the single parts. I think the key aspects of this innovation was to be able to collaborate with Tayo Europe, which are ETFE cladding manufacturers, and in particular we developed a way of welding the layers of ETFE in such a way that we could direct the flow of water and algae within the cladding. And in this way we can create literally streams or waterfalls inside of a cascade, which obviously help oxygenating the algae, help the exchange with the sun, with the radiation, and therefore increases the growing abilities of algae. But at the same time, it allows the facades to respond. So where the solar radiation, the incident solar radiation is higher, algae will grow faster and the facade will become less transparent. So will increase its shading potential and become therefore useful to the building itself. And I think this is the key of this technology, is combining these two realms, the one of harvesting and growing algae with a cladding system, and the result increases both, augments both. I think this technology really has evolved from a concept, and a concept that really deals with the city, and in particular with the necessity for cities to become more sustainable. And in this case, I'm really talking about the cities being able to generate their own energy and produce their own food, their own nutrients. So I would say that's where the concept began. And then through the understanding of microalgae, we discovered that in fact they are incredibly efficient photosynthetic machines. And then that is where we began to imagine that they could offer an alternative to the conventional green cladding roof or facades, or even the more common urban agricultural system, because they have the ability to be photosynthetic. Yeah, so because the concept for us was really important, the first 3 years actually we spent experimenting with this idea of integrating microorganisms in the architecture and urban fabric. And these experimentations were very much culturally driven, I would say. So funded by cultural institutions like the Architectural Association in London or the EDF Foundation in Paris, and were devoted to test how would visitors and humans respond to the integration of these organisms within their living environment. So the transition, let's say, from these type of experiments to the development of a technology, of a feasible and workable technology, it's in fact only 2 years old at the moment. And then I think that's when we saw and we first began to think that actually these experiments were really feasible within the urban environment, not just technologically but also culturally. Like, people were beginning to understand and accept and even be excited about the opportunity of such a tight relationship between microorganisms and their living environment. So for us, the biggest challenge during this 6 years long process was really to make the step from a kind of cultural or design-driven experimentation to a full-scale working prototype. And I think the biggest obstacle was really to find a test bed, like a suitable project where to test the possibilities of this idea and of this technology. And in fact, I think in our case, we were lucky to be involved in the Expo 2015 next year in Milan. And through this opportunity, we were able to begin to cooperate with manufacturers and to explore the next step. I think today we live in a world where there are many technologies coming out all the time, and obviously innovating I think is difficult as such because you're just one of many. But I think for me what has been driving us, and I think what should drive any good new technology, is to have a strong concept, a strong philosophy behind. And I think if you do have that, then you are able to take the right decisions when you are in the middle of the process, and obviously you're not quite sure perhaps where the whole thing is going. And I think in that moment to have a strong concept will make your choice informed, and also what the outcome of it relevant. And I think that's ultimately is what for me should be at the core of any innovation. Our next objective, of course, is to finalize the development of this prototype, and we have been setting up a lab, bio-urban design lab in the UCL, where we will be developing testing platforms for the prototype. And but at the same time, we are developing a whole new strands of ideas, and all of them I think have in common this idea of integrating the biological world with the digital one. And I think this is not just a buzzword. It's really the idea of overcoming the mechanical paradigm and exploiting the natural ability of biological organisms to adapt and to respond to the environment, and then using digital technologies to control and to manage this adaptation, which is obviously what this technology is all about. And we are thinking about expanding or exporting this concept to other ideas for the future.